Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our GYST podcast, where we help you get your together.
How about the bottle?
Is it recording on?
Yep.
Okay, just a second.
Ten seconds of silence. In 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of your 15th favorite podcast, the GYST Podcast, also known as Get Your Shit Together. Welcome, everyone, to episode 94, Controlling Your Emotions, and on behalf of the GYST Podcast crew and those in the studio, Happy New Year.
This is a really weird intro.
It is.
I'm taking this shit back over.
For that one episode. My name is Rohit Rohila.
Ahmed Bardwaj on the mic.
Kyle Reed.
Stephanie.
Stephanie what?
Ahmed's wife.
Bardwaj. You don't like saying the last name? I don't want to mess up my own last name. It's embarrassing.
She had to think about it.
I don't know that guy.
And Glenn Rux.
Glenn Ruck. That's an easy one.
Nice and easy. I like
All
my
of
name.
7 letters.
Yeah. Also want to welcome Glenn aboard. So for those who don't know, Glenn Rux has joined the podcast team. He's going to be creating a lot of the social media content that you see in terms of graphics. He's going to be working with some animation type stuff and just a whole bunch of other stuff to make us even that much better. So, Glenn, welcome aboard. And I believe this is your first time on air, right?
So far, kind of, yeah.
So
Listened in a couple times, but I'm here.
well,
Happy to be
welcome
here.
aboard.
Thank you. God, we could finally fill a role.
Yeah, thank you.
Kyle, can I please get started now?
No, not at all.
God, you're so frustrating.
We started 3 minutes ago.
Rohit, you need to learn how to control your emotions.
If only...
Damn it, relax, everyone.
If only there was a podcast about this.
Let's think logically here, people.
Should we let's just talk about this right now.
I'm over it.
Let's just talk about it.
Talk about what?
Controlling emotions.
Why?
Let's just make this episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Silly.
All right. Sam's going to hate you for when you're banging on the table.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah. If he listens.
He'll wake up.
Shit.
All right. So you guys ready to dive into controlling your emotions?
Absolutely.
All right. So I am a huge Star Trek fan, right? Love Star Trek. I'm a huge Trekkie. And one of the most popular...
You're actually a tiny Trekkie. You're a little Trekkie.
5'4", that's not little.
That's pretty small.
Yeah.
He'd fit in right with the Ewoks on that show, right?
Isn't
Different
that Star
show.
Wars?
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah. You're off the
Sorry.
You're off the podcast.
Sorry, the house elves.
Already.
But one of the things that I want to talk about is one of the most popular characters on Star Trek was Mr. Spock. And so I'm not going to go into the species evolutions between the Romulans and the Vulcans because only I will get excited about that. But for those who don't know, the Vulcans, which Mr. Spock is, are a society where they have let go of emotion. And that's why if you ever watch any of his episodes or any of episodes that he was involved with or the movies, he's always talking about logic. You know, this makes logical sense, this doesn't make logical sense, because he doesn't think emotionally. They've ruled that out from his society. And so with that, what we're going to do is talk about controlling your emotions. And what it really comes down to is, we talked a little bit when we talked about personality styles, right? Talking about how I'm a koala, Aaron is a monkey, Amit's an owl, Kyle, during that episode, played the lion. And the lion and the owls are the ones who tend to be more logical. And the koalas and the monkeys are the ones who are a bit more connected with their emotions and more feelings-based. So with that, a lot of people strongly live by ignorance is bliss. And it's also true when they are taking action steps, not just action steps, but also in their way of thinking on avoiding pain, even possible pain. And so a lot of things that they'll do is they won't even check their bank accounts. They won't check their credit card statements because they don't want to see, for them, how much money they're lacking. Or they don't want the amount of money that's in there to dictate their future. You know, oh, I don't have that much money right now, so therefore I can't go to the movies. I have to wait till my next paycheck. And so when we start doing that kind of stuff, we are living with our emotions because we're not taking complete control of our lives logically like we should. And the other thing is, think about when you like someone, right? How many times have we had feelings for someone, and then once we stop, we look back and we're like, Glenn, what did I ever see in her? And I'm saying that because you've known me the longest, and I've liked some really weird girls out there.
Vagina.
That's what you've seen in her.
And, but that's also true. Like, once you get over that person, you're like, wow, like, what was it about them that I liked? Because when we like someone, we think emotionally. And when we think emotionally and we feel emotionally, we let logic go.
I think that's the thing. You don't think.
Yeah, you just feel and just go with your instincts.
Yeah. So that's sorry. But I had to interject. Just
You felt like you needed.
I needed to, man. I had to, damn it.
And we've got Mr. Road Rage himself in the studio. I'm in Brother Watch.
Mr. and Mrs.
on the mic.
Oh, and whataboutism here as well.
What's fun is I was once a passenger with Steph driving and Amit in the passenger seat. And they were arguing the whole time. And I'm just back there laughing. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah? Is it good? I want to be in the car. Did you guys drive here together?
Yeah.
Yes, I drove.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's it. Let's all get in the car and just go around the block a couple times. I want to see
Let's
this.
do it.
We'll be sure to find some idiots out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Pretty
And
bad
it's-
road rage.
And it won't be either of the two driving.
No, of course not.
Everyone else is an idiot. I'm the only sane one on the road. That's what the other people
We all
say.
took the same test.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Good stuff. So, why is it critical to control your emotions?
Well, I mean, especially if we're talking about road rage, I mean, that could lead to other altercations,
Oh, yeah.
accidents, and further somebody getting injured. You know, just controlling your emotion in general, this can be tied into so many subjects. We're talking about friends, if they say something and you snap out at them, parents, significant others.
Your reactions are totally different when you're in emotional states.
Exactly, 100%. When you're very emotional, especially when you feel like you've been wrong, I think that's when everyone feels the weakest, and that's when they lash out the most. It's a self-defense mechanism. Like you said, I'm not the one who, was driving wrong. It's that idiot. It could have been me. It could have been I didn't give my signal long enough or whatever. Mm-hmm. But that rage is there, and it kind of goes back to, what I said before we started the podcast of the energy in, is it worth the emotion that's coming out? Everything that we do, every time we get upset, there's energy that I'm putting into being upset. Is it really worth me being upset in this 10-minute drive home because he didn't give his signal, and me being mad the whole time, tailgating him and tailgating him and trying to be upset and what the fuck, man, why'd you have to do this and all that stuff. Like, I get very into it, and it's just, since the podcast, is it worth the energy? Not to me anymore. I mean, there's things that I try to make myself better at with my emotions, and it's very difficult with some other things. When it's close to personal things, it's a little bit more of me fighting for it. Mm-hmm. Versus, I really don't care he didn't give a signal, fuck it, whatever. So it depends on the level of how close it is to what's affecting me. Mm-hmm. But I think everyone should control their emotions to a degree. Because you don't want to control your emotions to the point where you yourself explode. We don't want episode 91. We don't want you to kill yourself because you're so upset. Yeah. Let your emotions out. Cry if you need to. Be upset. Just pay attention to how you're releasing these emotions, because having a wife, I can't do the same emotions that I would have had before. You have to rethink everything that you do at home, because now there's somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? She's like, So
No, now she's stuck. You can do even more. You don't have to take the garbage out. You ain't got to fold the clothes. You know how hard it is to get divorced? You're straight, brother. You're good. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I want to hone in on something you said earlier, though, is you said when you feel you've been wronged. And I think that's just it. You feel. You don't think.
Yeah.
You don't think that this person wasn't maliciously trying to cut you off. They were just like, oh, I see an over here. I want to hurry up and get over. Mm-hmm. And you're like, you motherfucker! There's a blinker on your car for a reason. What?
No, I was just like, that frightened me a little.
Oh, I was channeling some
Your
road rage.
Your inner Amit.
Yeah. You motherfucker! Because we don't think about those things, right? You just, you feel them and you immediately get upset. And why do we do that? Like you said, it's okay to feel things, and I think that feeling an emotion is very, very important. But I think it clouds your judgment in almost everything. I will say 100% of the time, emotion clouds your judgment, for good or for bad.
And
right?
To support what you're saying, and that says something about you. No, that says something coming from you because you're a monkey.
Yeah, I'm an emotional person.
Very emotional.
Right? I have outbursts.
Yeah.
I get loud, I'm quiet. Sometimes I'll be distant and just kind of chill by myself. But other times I want to be crazy and rambunctious and with people. And little things will piss me off, right? Like it might be something major. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's so stupid. But then it's whatever. But then a bunch of little things will pile up and get on my nerves. Like you had mentioned, right? If you suppress too many things, you have a problem with potentially releasing a lot of negative energy. And you discuss the energy that you put into that emotion, in most cases anger, is it worth what you're getting out? But also, what you're putting into the world. What is the vibe that you're putting out when you feel all these negative emotions? And if you don't release them in a constructive manner, you're never going to put out positive energy. You're never going to get positive energy back. So I think that's pretty key. I also wrote that living too much on your emotions can make you a very volatile person, which is not necessarily a good thing. And at times you want to maintain an even keel.
Yeah.
To get through some stuff.
And there were two instances that I kind of wanted to bring up, and maybe three, but two of those revolve around Amit, and I guess maybe the third one as well. So when my mom passed, right, she passed away, or let me rephrase. So I picked up my sister from the airport. My dad calls and he's like, hey, just get here as soon as possible because we're not sure how much longer your mom is going to be around. And I say that in quotes. YouTube people know I'm using quotes for a specific purpose. So I brought my sister home, and we're like rushing in past family, and long enough for my mom to look up, see my sister. She smiled, and she closed her eyes. And 2 days later is when she actually passed. And I knew that, I'd been controlling my emotions throughout my life, from meditating, from personal reflection. So I know anytime I'm getting frustrated or emotional, things like that, I need to get the blinders on, get rid of the emotion, and I can move forward. And I remember my sister was on the verge of just losing it. And I looked at her and I was like, take a quick time out, close your eyes, take some deep breaths. Who you see in front of you is not mom. The mom that we knew is gone. Don't look at this person who's just laying here, body shutting down. Don't think of her as mom, because that's not her. And it was once I helped her take kind of the emotion out of it, that she was like, I'm okay. And the same thing at her funeral. We're standing up there and everyone's very emotional. And I told her, I was like, look, same thing you have to remember is we are here to celebrate her life and what she did. But for everyone else, it's completely different. They're locked in emotion, an emotion of loss, and things like that. But if you think about it logically, you know, I'm not saying if someone passes away, you know, Mr. Spock mode and you're good to go. But it does help. It centers you, and it makes you okay. And Amit, the reason why I brought you up is something that you've talked on air, your wedding. When we pulled over to the side of your house, you know, I thought of that as well as the hospital with the clock. But knowing that you are an owl and that you live in emotion, not emotion, but you live in logic, that's what I did to center you, was I just brought you back to logic. And you're like, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. And your bachelor, or not the bachelor party, but the wedding was just a blast.
Yeah, it literally was logic, and it's going back to kind of the driving situations, right? I'm sorry.
Mr. Road Rage.
Yeah.
Mr. Road Rage.
Speaking of logic, when you fucking turn, you should give your turn signal, because, you know, when you turn the wheel, it's literally in the motion. Like, you just stick out your middle finger, and when you're turning the... Sorry.
You're supposed to turn it on before that.
Yeah.
See, but either way, there's no excuse for it to not be on.
I know. He's
he
getting
does.
emotional right now.
Clearly he doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Take a breath.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let it out.
People on YouTube,
See?
you're watching like... Yeah.
He's trying to control his emotions right now. I'm just mad at
It's like,
all of
what's
us
that,
right
that
now.
term from Anger Management? The
I don't
movie?
know. I know the movie you're talking about, but I don't know.
There's some like...
Woosah, Captain.
Yeah. Something like that.
Go ahead.
Fraba.
Yeah.
Goose
Fraba,
Fraba.
yeah.
But it's the logic, and that's reading it up there as well as the logic versus the emotion. It just comes down to the same thing. You know, is it worth me putting in the energy? Is it logically making sense for me to be upset for something that I might not be able to control?
Yeah.
I accepted it. It happened. How do I move on from it so I don't have to put in the energy to being upset? Because me being upset is using energy from me. And like you said, it's giving out that negative vibe, which it was that time at the party, at the limo ride. Everyone
I remember
noticed.
you guys talked about that.
Yeah, everyone noticed, like, I was pissed, and everyone else, you know, was yelling and just got mad, and stuff's like, babe, calm down. I'm like, no.
Fuck that!
Yeah, and then, you know, Rohit just pulls me aside.
The
and
brown hole.
Fucking Master Shifu over here, and,
Master Shifu.
you know, controlled my emotions, and we did a little bit of meditation, and then we got in the car and started drinking some Black Label. So, you know.
And everything was good to go.
Yeah.
But it's realizing, it was the logic. It's like, is it worth me being upset for the, whatever happened during the day? Was it worth me being upset and ruining the night? Because to me, the night was my wedding.
Are you a control freak sometimes?
It's
Yes.
part of the, I wouldn't say it's OCD.
Steph's smiling over there. You know?
I am sometimes.
Yeah.
Steph, could you describe how I make my sandwiches?
Oh.
Yes. One side with mayo, one side with mustard.
Okay.
Do you know which side?
A man after my own heart.
Okay, top side.
Left side
with,
mayo.
Top side with mayo. Bottom side is mustard.
So
Me
left
too.
is mayo, right is mustard.
Yeah.
All right.
Top
all right.
side has ketchup.
No. See?
Ew.
See?
You put ketchup on a sandwich?
Dude, yeah.
Now you're making me mad.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Weird.
No, but I'll have like mayonnaise on one side, mustard on the other, and then
Ketchup in the middle?
no ketchup.
That
is
is
on,
disgusting.
Ketchup is on top of whatever I have. So if it's like a chicken sandwich, I'll put a little bit of like ketchup there.
Well, like deli
And
sandwich?
hot sauce.
Like deli meat?
I wouldn't do it like in a deli meat, like a chicken burger.
Oh,
Like a
okay.
burger.
Oh, that's
Okay.
different.
I thought he was
If
like,
you're talking about a deli sandwich, I wouldn't
turkey
put,
sandwich, here's the
I might-
ketchup.
Yeah.
I might sprinkle some sriracha on there just to get some spicy flavor, but not like ketchup. But she does it. She's like, "What does it matter?" I'm like,
Oh, it matters.
and to the point, like when she said it, it's like,
There's
you're
that.
right. What does it matter? My
All
body's
ends
gonna
up in
die.
the same place.
But for whatever reason, before when I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's not
Because I'm
tasty.
used to doing mayo on both sides, then
She doesn't
mustard
even
on one
fuck.
side.
She
and
just
then-
does this.
Oh.
I gotta tell you, controlling anger, especially with family, is the
Yeah.
hardest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Family and those you love, it's the hardest because you know them better than anyone else. They know you better than anyone else, and they know how to push those buttons.
It's that
They
comfort level.
really, it's literally the
Yeah.
comfort level.
Yeah. Because you'll say things that you wouldn't say to somebody else. If somebody else was like, hey, Steph, can you make me a sandwich while you're in there making one too? Just like a friend, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, yeah, sure. And they were like, oh, can you make sure you put mayonnaise on the left and mustard on the right? You'd be like, the fuck? Yeah, sure. And then once you put everything together, can you sprinkle some ketchup on top? Fucking weirdo.
Salt and pepper, don't forget that.
Yeah, sure. Salt and pepper. So you would do it, right? And you would in your head you'd be thinking, this is the weirdest fucking way to make a sandwich ever. But you would do it and you wouldn't push back. Right. Because you don't have the same comfort level that you guys have today. Mm-hmm. Today, you're comfortable with pushing back. Like, babe, it's gonna go in your fucking mouth. Who fucking cares? Mix it all together, put some brown fucking concoction on your damn bread, put a chicken in there and some cheese, whatever the fuck else you want, and eat it. Just shut up.
Yes.
Take it.
I made it. From
I
love.
made it for you.
Oh.
You say love, I say hatred.
Wow.
Whoa.
Myself a sandwich.
You say love.
Hatred.
He says,
She would
hold
have
on.
used that book to come up with a recipe.
You say love. He says hatred. And logic says, show me this ingredient on that sandwich. Show me this ingredient called love. Love is not an ingredient.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and you just calmed down. Look, your emotion is gone. Your emotion is gone. Logically, you know that on your sandwich is whole wheat bread.
See, that's the thing. Logically, I know. It's those damn emotions.
But
man.
emotionally.
All the ingredients you want, they're all there.
Just be thankful we got a sandwich.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is the last episode Stephanie will ever be on.
Dang.
Just messing, just fun.
If you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship. I'm kidding. It's not funny, but I'm kidding. So, no, I think these are great examples, right? The same thing happens with Emily and I all the time. Because we're like, why are you doing it like that? Because to us, we're emotionally attached to the way that we do things. Mm-hmm. And we believe that they are logical, right? The way you make your sandwich, to you is logical. And you love it. So you have now become emotionally attached to your sandwich making logic. Mm-hmm. And you think that everyone else's is wrong.
100%.
Yep.
Exactly, right? So you will fight that until the day you die. Steph, your sandwich may be delicious, but it's not an Amit sandwich. Amit, your sandwich may be delicious, but it ain't a Steph sandwich.
Yep.
That sounded really, really bad. Sorry. There will be no Steph sandwiches tonight. Maybe next week. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
But that's what we do, right? We've attached emotion to that, and it creates arguments, and it creates friction. But if you really discuss and say, hey, this is actually why I do it, and this is why it makes sense to me. Oh, okay, I can see that. The reason why I do it this way is because of this. Because if you're truly open with somebody, willing to have a discussion about their logic, then then you can have growth. Mm-hmm. And you control your emotions, keep them in check, keep them out of the equation, make it a business decision. Mm-hmm.
It's funny
You'll be
that you
good to
said
go.
that.
Did you write that down?
Well, I've got I've got movies listed here, right?
Uh-huh.
And two of my favorite movies. One, Ocean's 11.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because there's no emotion in it. It's all logic. That's why everything falls into place. And when they see Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt
Emotion
loses
comes into
it, he's
play.
like, you're out. Even though it was like
every
Clooney's
rom-com.
idea, right?
Every single rom-com.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, think about mobster movies, especially like The Godfather. It's just business.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing personal. Kyle, I just have to shoot you and kill you. I love you.
And
You're my brother.
And Amit, you have to help me bury him,
I'm not
or I will shoot you and kill you.
It's not personal.
Yeah.
It's business.
So yeah, I wrote down it's got to be a business decision.
Yeah.
Right.
It's human nature for emotion to be there, though, right? Like,
It is.
And it's up to us as the person to analyze that emotion, and obviously we need to apply the logic to it, like you're saying. And I'm saying that as a raw nature for humans, to be emotional, to be passionate about certain things. Yeah. It's a flight or flight type of a situation, right?
I definitely have a fight.
Yeah.
I think the more you can be in control of your emotions, the more you are proactive in life and not reactive. One of the moments I remember with you, Glenn, is we were driving somewhere.
You should have
last
cried like a
year.
little baby.
And I was driving, and you were in the passenger seat. And literally, there was someone next to us who started merging over, never turned on their lights. And they were maybe like 4 inches from hitting my car, right? And I just honked my horn, and they like swerved back really quickly. But if you think on the freeway going, 60, 65 or whatever, about 4 inches or so from hitting you. And then, I honked, and they moved over. And I just continued the conversation right where it was. And Glenn, who could probably fight with you, Amit, on Master of Road Rage.
I am a very road ragey person.
I think we went to go see a movie, and even after the movie, he was still like burning inside.
Pumped up.
Well, the person also gave me the finger when I looked at him. Like, come on!
Oh, yeah, I was shocked.
So I was like, okay. And, just to give you a little backstory, I mean, growing up, I always had a lot of rage.
And
really
where did you grow up again, for the audience at home?
Compton. I'm a white boy from Compton.
Yep. And it's the Compton that you're thinking about.
Yes, Compton, Los Angeles, California. But yes, I grew up with a lot of rage. I did. I was an angry kid. Dealt with a lot of stuff. Dealt with a lot of bullying. And my parents saw that my rage was either going to get me killed, especially in Compton, or it was going to get someone else killed. So they took it upon themselves to help me find a way to deal with my rage. They put me in martial arts. That was kind of fun. At first I was like, great, now I'm going to have a way to beat people up that piss me off. Didn't work like that. At the dojo, the sensei literally sat me down and said, you know what, every time you lose your temper in here, not only are you going to run, but you're going to have to spar with me. And I will not go easy on you.
Get your ass kicked a couple times.
I did. I got my ass kicked
you learned how to
a
control
few
your
times.
emotions.
More than a few in the first session. And I think I ran so much that I puked twice that day. Let's say the second time was just dry heaves, but it got the point across. I had to deal with my anger and see that it wasn't really doing something.
Yeah.
It wasn't doing anything positive.
No, not at all.
In
It was
fact,
doing something.
It was doing something
It was
very
doing something.
negative to
Yeah.
me. It gave me that, okay, this is wrong. It's going to hurt you. You need to control your anger. Look at it before you act.
Yeah.
Because my anger is one of those emotions where you act first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with sadness, with happiness, there's a little bit of thought first, but anger is usually a very impulsive. You literally go right into either a fight or a flight. And I'm still a fighter, but I'm able to control it.
And Glenn, one thing that I think that you do that you've noticed is really helpful for you, and I've heard you mention this on one-on-one conversations that you and I have a lot, is video games.
Yes, definitely video games. That's my release from stress. If I feel stressed, I'll go home, I'll play some games, I'll shoot some zombies. Woohoo! Amit knows this. I'm a zombie guy.
You got to get on PUBG.
Yeah, we got to get on PUBG. But I'm definitely a Player Underground.
Player Unknown Battleground. Right? Is that what it is?
Player Unknown Battleground.
Yeah.
Great game. But
It's free, isn't it?
No.
I think it's $30 right now.
yeah, $30 right now on Xbox.
Is it cross-platform? PC?
Not yet.
Sorry.
Will be. Anyway. But yeah, I'll play.
Control your emotions.
When I feel myself getting
passion.
angry, or if I'm starting to get a
See
little emotional at work, which work brings up emotions in people sometimes. You deal with a stupid person enough, you start getting that rage going.
Sorry, Glenn.
So I go home. No, you're not the stupid person. You've made it onto my wall of unintelligent questions more than once, but not quite the stupid person.
Damn it.
But no, really, I'll play a video game. I'll store up all that anger, and just when I get home, I release it all. I turn all these little different targets into my targets of anger, and I just let it go. By the next day, I'm back and ready to do my job. No issues.
It's a good way for you to have a release.
It is.
That's
It's
something that
you have to have that release.
We haven't discussed
If
here
you've
today.
if you've got that emotions pent up, if you've got angers pent up, you have to have a release. Bottling it up is something I did when I was a kid, and believe me, I got in so many fights. I hurt people. My size, believe me, I can hurt people, and I had to learn how to control that before I ended up killing someone.
You animal. One thing I wanted to
Yeah.
no one thing I wanted to suggest is that I think after discussing this, I don't like the term controlling your emotions. I think we change it to managing your emotions. Because do we want to get rid of them? Do we want to control them completely?
No.
Because if you didn't allow emotions to shape some of your decisions, you guys wouldn't be married. Because logically, you shouldn't be together because you guys argue about sandwiches and driving.
Oh, I thought it was because she's Vietnamese and he's Indian.
No, it has nothing to do with that. You guys both have curry. It's different.
Yeah, actually,
it's different.
there's
Quite a bit different,
yeah.
but so that's I think what I wanted to think is I think controlling your emotions gives it a negative connotation, and I don't want it to have that. But I also want to discuss how helping to manage your emotions and limit them in certain situations, I'll say, can help, especially in a decision-making process.
Yeah.
You want to buy a car, you want to buy a home, right? First thing people will say is not to fall in love with a home, because you'll do things that you probably shouldn't be doing to get that home or that car, right? Mm-hmm. You fall in love with a, I don't know.
Surface Studio.
Surface. Glenn fell in love with a Surface Studio recently, right? And he did ungodly things to pay for a Surface Studio. I mean, you should see the shit he's got online right now. Goats, chickens, 3 horses, and a mule. And that is not his wedding dowry.
We'll have Ruben post these on our social media.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to say. When you take a look at things, especially with decisions or things that happen to you, as I mentioned, the road rage stuff, ask yourself 3 things. Is this something I can control? Is it something I can influence? Or is it something I can't control? Put it in one of those 3 boxes.
What? Do you mind repeating those once more?
Is this something I can control?
Uh-huh.
Is this something I can influence?
Uh-huh.
Or is it something I can't control?
Okay. Your third one, I thought you just repeated the first one. I was like, whoa.
No.
Okay.
Put it in one of those boxes. And then from there, take action on it. Right? Can you control if someone else uses their blinker? No. But what can you control? Your reaction to it. Drive past them or turn the music up. Change the song. Hit the pen.
Yeah, stop playing Knock If You Buck, right?
Yeah, you don't want to play music that's going to perpetuate that attitude.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you got to just listen to some shit. So yeah, I would say take a look at those 3 things. I think those help me quite a bit.
That's actually good to do in other places too, like we were talking about, like the workplace, where you know, you might have people who aren't doing as much as you do, but you're doing all the work, and you don't know how to respond to that by letting them know, or you know, how do you deal with something like that? It's just being logical, being, you know, putting it into the bucket. Can you control it? You can't control it. Can you influence it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can have a conversation with this person, pull them aside.
Yeah.
There's definitely things that you can do, but I love the fact that you said that it's not controlling your emotions, it's managing your emotions. I like that idea of it, because like you said, I don't want to control my anger, because even though I might not like it, it is who I am.
The control issue is what's getting you there.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. You know, it's just about
One more thing you want to control.
Yeah. But I mean, it's part of who I am, and not necessarily in a bad way where I'm angry when I drive. I just need to not necessarily control and confine my anger, but how do I manage this anger? How do I put this towards another avenue of emotion? Well, if I'm driving, maybe not listen to, you know...
Knock If You Buck.
Knock If You Buck. Maybe
3 6
listen
Mafia.
to... Yeah, maybe listen to a podcast. Maybe listen to You know,
There's a
tranquil
great
music.
podcast.
Yeah, there's a
out there
great
called
podcast.
GYST Podcast.
I never knew.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's
I'm not-
fantastic. I'll have to show you.
Cool.
We were actually listening to one of my mood boosting playlists earlier. Yeah, just anytime I feel angry and on the road. Okay.
Yeah, Spotify. Yeah, they have one.
Mood
I will
boost.
just, yeah.
I've
just
got
played
literally.
it.
I set up a playlist with Groove. Rest in peace. That's another thing that
So is
upsets
Groove
me.
no longer a thing?
Groove is dead as of the 31st. Of
awesome.
Is that why they brought Spotify to the Xbox One?
So
Gotcha.
yeah, I created this mood boost playlist a long time ago on Groove, and it's just carried with me now. I've added songs to it over the years, but nothing is down, nothing is guttural, nothing is angry sounding.
Spotify has a playlist. It's called like something to that effect, mood boosting or something like that. And just last week, Emily came home. She was tired. She just seemed kind of down. We had Christmas presents to wrap and a whole bunch of shit to do. And I was kind of like, okay. And I had to go to the store to get something or something like that. So I was like, all right, here. So I played this music. I was like, you want some music on, Christmas music or something like that? She's like, no, I don't know. I was like, I'm going to play something anyways. And I played that. And I come back and she's fucking jamming out. And she's kicking it. And I'm like, shit, all right, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Shit works.
Music, man. Music.
Music works
It
wonders.
moves you.
There's a couple things I wrote down, Kyle. One, I think in relation to what you said, isn't there? No, I'm not Christian, nor do I play one on TV. But isn't there like a serenity prayer that talks about having the power to things that you can and can't control or something?
It goes, Lord, give me, my goodness gracious. It's used. And one reason why I know this is because it's used in seminars for addicts for drugs and alcohol, and it is, Lord, grant me the strength.
You know, don't you? Huh?
Lord, grant me the strength
He's
to
just letting
change the
it go.
things that I can. The what the fuck does it go? The last
But
part is
anyway,
wisdom to know
it's
the difference.
something.
You know what? If you know it, say, because I can't remember it now. I'm drawing a blank.
Off the top of my head, I get it mixed up every once in a while.
Yeah.
The strength to change the things that I can.
The
The
wisdom.
the patience to accept those
things that I
can't,
cannot, and the wisdom to know the
and the
difference.
wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. The other thing that I want to talk about is there are 3 episodes that I think would be really helpful for people listening to this. One is personality styles. Get to know why you get angry in certain situations and why others don't. The other one, pet peeves. Remember we did that episode?
yeah.
That's what I was trying to find when I was flipping through this. I don't
We
know
all
the number.
smiled because we all like talking shit.
Yeah.
We need to do
Getting
another, we
angry.
need to do another episode like
God,
that.
that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Definitely
Except-
girls love doing that.
Half the
Oh,
people
yeah,
on my-
they do. Yeah, they do.
Except half the reasons on my pet peeves now are part of this podcast, so that'll be awkward for me.
And 100% of vomits are here.
Yeah.
I'm totally kidding.
And the other is how to
I'm
meditate.
one of his pet peeves.
And that's what I want to talk about. We talk about controlling your emotions, right? I think what you need to do is you need to reflect, especially when you have things that make you angry. You know, at the end of the day, before you go to sleep, I'm a huge activist of this. I've talked about it several times on air. Every night before I go to sleep, I have a moment of reflection, and I think about what happened in my day that went well, what didn't go well, and how the actions I take can change that. And then 3, who did I become better friends with? That's something I do every single night. And part of that is realizing, like, if I have, let's just say, a moment of road rage or something happens and I accidentally stab my neighbor. So
We're still
What-
listening. We heard you say that.
what I'm going to do is I need to take a mental timeout, think about it logically. Okay, what was it that my neighbor did where I jabbed that knife into her stomach, right? That's just a stupid joke now. But think about road rage, right?
Rumors get started.
So what was it necessarily about that person that made me upset? Erase all that, Sam. Okay.
What? He's
So,
not going to hear
Sam, that's your cue to erase whatever Rohit said.
So
Wake up!
I was gonna say no neighbors have been harmed in the film.
that. Yeah.
so one oh dang it, now I forgot what I was gonna bring up.
Oh, you dipshit.
You guys got me so excited.
Control your
Manage
your emotions. Yeah.
But flip. Never mind, Sam. Put that back in.
Sam, this is your cue to put it back in.
But one of the things that you need to do is when you take a look at things that have made you emotional, right? Think about what not only what caused it, but what can you do to calm down from it? So when you recognize that you're feeling this way again, you know, what can you do to counteract that right away? And the other thing is meditation is so important to just connect with yourself again. And so think about what it was that angered you in the first place and come up with a different solution or a way to release that anger. Glenn plays video games. You know, we all have to have something that releases this emotion where we can just turn off our mental minds and just release all that.
The things that I do that help me release every day, stress and tension, bring on more stress and tension. Like golf.
Oh.
It's like, just go where I want you to go. Just go there.
But the act of golfing
Yeah.
is what makes you feel relaxed. And
Yeah, it's awesome.
taking time at the course.
Yeah.
I feel it. I mean, I'm sure Glenn, loses at a game and he gets pissed
yeah.
off, but
Yeah.
But it's there and it's gone because it's something that I'm actually enjoying even though I'm losing.
Good stuff. You got to get better at games.
Like 6 and 7-year-olds coming in and destroying me.
And talking,
I get
and
so
talking
mad.
trash.
Then it's the trash talking that really annoys me.
Go shit your diapers, you little fucks.
I slept with your mother. Right.
Who is your daddy? No, really, who's your daddy?
I might
Good
be
stuff.
your daddy.
Good stuff. Well, guys, with that said, this episode, all about managing your emotions, I think...
Ladies and gentlemen.
Gentlemen, and ladies.
Lady.
It's time
Time
for Kyle Reed's 2-minute takeaway.
Away! That was awesome. Thank you, gentleman and lady.
Welcome.
So
You love it.
She's the only one.
this episode,
You're welcome.
I know. It's different every time. That's what I like about it. I literally almost forgot.
I did
about it
too.
until Amit started.
I was gonna do it last episode, but
Yeah. I looked up and you were sitting down, so
mic.
I just went through it.
yeah.
This episode, I didn't even think about it though. So, thank you guys for the 2-minute takeaway introduction. So, as we discussed today's episode, all about managing your emotions, not controlling, but managing your emotions to help you maintain composure. Removing emotion from certain situations, especially in decision making, allows you, well, it provides you with clear logic so you can make smarter decisions. We're not asking you to be like Spock every day. We want you to feel emotion. Myself, being the Glenn and Rohit are both put up the Spock sign over here. And no, Steph, no, she said no Spock sign.
That's mine.
She's
She's doing the.
she's got the Trang Dai sign up. So, you guys are spazoids.
That was one of the gangs in Compton.
Anyway, can I finish my 2-minute takeaway, guys?
Please.
Are you getting angry?
If you treat certain things, no, I'm taking control of the situation. If you treat certain things like a business decision, I'm managing this right now.
He's got so mad.
Glenn, no.
You're trying to cover it up. You're so mad right now.
No, I'm not. I'm just deciding whether I'm going to wait till we're done laughing to finish or power through and let Sam's not going to cut this shit out. Realistically. So, if you can do those things, maintain an even keel. And we're not saying take emotion out of every equation because, again, emotion is what brought the two of you guys together, right? And now you're in this beautiful thing called marriage and occasional love. Lust is out the window because that's for single couples. But you take a look at a lot of things that you do in your life and things that happen to you.
None of them disagree.
Ask yourself, is it something you control? Is it something you can influence? Or is it something that you can't control? Put it in one of those boxes. React accordingly. Things will be a lot easier and a lot smoother for you. Promise you that. So with all that being said, Thanks again for listening to the GYST Podcast. Get your shit together. GYSTpodcast.com. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Rohit's favorite, Pinterest. So thanks again for tuning in. We got another great episode coming at you next week. We're going to discuss all about making friends as adults. I know it sounds really awkward, but how many friends do you have that you had when you were a child?
I've thought about this.
And how many?
Times.
Yeah, and how many do you have today that you
yeah.
made as an adult? And let's not say it right now,
Yeah.
but think about that. Ponder that, listeners, over the next week, and get back to us on next week's episode, Making Friends as an Adult. Thanks again for listening.
Bye.
What?
God,
What?
I wish I remembered my point that I was gonna.
That's all right. All right.
Thanks everyone for tuning in to our GYST podcast. We hope you learned how to get your together.